All right, 6 o'clock on Tuesday, August 18th. This is the Beach Grove Greenscape Commission. I am Kelsey Beal.
I'm Anna Scare.
And I'm Crystal Bright. I was gonna say another name. I don't know why. That's weird.
Okay. We don't have any guests tonight, but to jump all the way down to the bottom of the agenda, the next meeting, the representative from IDNR would like to come join one of our meetings. Amy,
Nice.
I believe it's Amy Rhodes. There's a few different Amy's on the email chain, and I get them confused, and I didn't check before I came. But she'd like to join the September meeting. She's got to drive from a little far away, but I'll be out of town for our scheduled meeting on the 15th.
Okay.
So we can either move it a week to the 22nd, which is just the next Tuesday, if you guys want.
Sure.
Or I've already met her, if everybody wants to meet the 15th without me, and I can do an agenda and just somebody else can lead the meeting. Either way is fine. Or we can come up with another situation.
Yeah, either day would work for me.
Okay. Okay.
And if she can do either,
Yeah,
happy to.
I think she can. She just needs to know. So because she's got to plan all her like central Indiana
Right.
things to
Yeah.
travel.
Are Mondays bad for you guys?
Not for me personally, but we have to work around what's going on in meetings. Or Mondays are bad for
Got it.
our
Got
IT
noted.
department.
No worries. I was just because Jess is off Mondays, but the 22nd is totally fine
Okay,
with me. Yeah. If it works for everybody else.
great. Let's just plan on that. So that will be a correction.
That's right. We do have meetings on Mondays. I should know because I was here for it. So
Yeah, a bunch of other groups meet on Mondays. Okay, so guest recognition will be next time. And then review the July minutes. I reviewed them previously.
I have them pulled up if you want to look at them. Otherwise, another.
I'll make a motion to approve.
yes.
I don't know if I can second my own
I
minutes.
second.
Okay, the IRA grants, the remaining grant money has been allocated for these projects. When I say grant money, this is a reimbursement grant. The remaining projects will be, have been like awarded, I guess, to Davy Resource Group, which shorthand is DRG, is the lingo. And that includes an urban forestry management plan, an ordinance / policy review for the city, some tree plantings, which were, those spots were kind of identified in the tree inventory, and a community engagement portion. So we had a kickoff meeting on August 5th. I went to represent the Greenscape Commission, and then mayor and DPW representatives, and then several people from Davy Resource Group. And so I gave you all a copy of their agenda. It's got the contact information. I think on all the emails, they've copied Greenscape, and Zach Root was there too. So basically, they just kind of introduced like what exactly that means, what an urban forestry management plan. They are just like a brief overview. They are like reviewing everything in the tree inventory and getting some more info from them about like definitions of like E-rated trees, excellent, good, fair, poor, blah blah blah. And so they're still working on like, okay, what are your metrics of how you classify these things, and sorting through that stuff. And we talked a bit about, as far as ordinance and policy review. Well, let me back up before that. They asked us like, what do you want to get out of this? I said, at least from I think everyone in that room, I was like, we need to clearly define, at least for the citizens, but also for us, like whose tree is whose responsibility? Like who do people contact when something is happening with trees, if they're falling, broken, whatever, on private property, on public property? Is it the DPW's department? Is it Greenscape Commission making a recommendation to a thing, so, kind of just organizing who does what, and making it very clear in the ordinance, because in the ordinance, it's just a little confusing the way things are written, and some things could be updated to, just have more information or just be more up to date with practices and things. And I did bring up some things in the ordinance that at least I personally would like to amend, or it would make it easier for us to plant trees, give us more options, because there is a line somewhere in there that says no tree planting in the right of way strip that's 48 inches, or it's got to be greater than 48-inch width to plant a tree. Well, we don't really even have that, except on Main Street. Like within the little neighborhoods, they're all 48 inches wide. So as these giant silver maples that are buckling the sidewalk, like they're big trees cause problems in there, but as those are gonna die out over the next decades, I would like to be able to put something back. So, smaller trees, and we're just gonna kind of look at that with them. I mean, they're the experts, and look at what other cities do, like Zach has walked through us. Species list with smaller things, more narrow things. And we still have to avoid utilities and whatnot, but
plenty of trees I'm sure could fit in that.
Yes.
40 inches, like
and
this is gonna get giant.
I know. Even the silver maples that are there now are way too big. They're 48 inches wide at the big, but it took them 60 years to get that wide.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think there's just some modern solutions that we can. And Davey did suggest, like, there are things like that we don't even need to like change the ordinance, or you can kind of tack on like a supplemental document that has some like exceptions. Yeah, so that's fine. I'm promising. I think it seems like they wanted to work, especially with DPW, to kind of come up with a more proactive approach to at least trimming and pruning and removals and things like that. Because right now, we do just kind of wait for something to break and then go fix it instead of looking out for that. And, the DPW has been great ever since we got this new tree inventory. Well, we got the director and everything, but they're into it and they're on it as far as taking care of these trees. So that's awesome.
It's just interesting to read through. So after like they like do like tree planting and like the management plan, are they kind of gonna like hand that off to like whoever is like kind of the responsible party in the city?
Yeah, I mean it'll just be a it'll be like a report. I think it's said in here, 30 to 45 pages of for like the city. I mean, it'll be public information. It'll be a PDF that we can put a link to online and things like that. But yeah, something to work from.
Gotcha.
And updated tree inventory incorporating removal and planting prioritization in an Esri shape file. So Tim at DPW is pretty good with GIS stuff and doing the GIS stuff. ESRI is just another acronym for that shape file. And I did somewhere, I mean, I don't know if anything will really come of it, but I spoke to, like, it would be great to have some planting limitations, not really for homeowners, this wouldn't really apply, definitely not for private property, but for like commercial projects or developments when it happens pretty rarely in Beech Grove. But I was just thinking of like the new plumbing school going at the old marsh spot, like, you know, at work, we have the Indianapolis rules we have to follow, but then like Fishers or Noblesville will say like, here's your street trees you have to plant, here's, you know, a list of these. So that's when we can say no more maples, things like that. And we have just a little more, another level of review that plans have to go through, like a landscape ordinance.
That's a really good idea, yeah.
So since we are, I mean, the Indianapolis standards would be like, would have to be followed, but we could have another layer that's like within Beech Grove. We have to tighten that up as we're something preferred.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can at least steer us towards how to get that done in the future.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be just like, here you go, here's what you implement. And then tree planting. They're gonna plan for 50 trees, and they're gonna take a second look at the recommended locations that were identified. And they said they would send some like pictures and all of that kind of stuff. So those planting spots are, for the grant, they do have to be in these CGEST zones, which is like Center for Economic Justice and something like that. Census districts, so it's like an underserved area, everything's divided up, so that's why they are identified where they are, which is kind of like the northwest-ish part of town, and then there's some like over by the industrial stuff. But that's not to say we couldn't, in the future, I'd like to plant some more, like in the neighborhoods where we are just having some holes. So they're gonna plant 50 trees and take care of them for 3 years, watering and
That's
all of that stuff.
pretty awesome.
Yeah. And of all the groups I would trust to do proper planting, Davy would be number one on that list. So I'm not even concerned about planting. And then community engagement and outreach is they're gonna. This is still to be kind of worked out, but tie something into going green in the Grove, which will be in April of 2027. And that's kind of really just to meet the grant requirements, so that printing some things or speaking of printing things, Tim said that they have already used our door hangers. Let me check my things. They said they'll have a draft review of this management plan draft the week of September 6th. So pretty soon. And we need to send them. I got a link to a shared OneDrive folder. We can drop them in there, and you can just send photos if you have any. But we need like 5 pretty photos around Beech Grove, tree things, just things they can include in all this text to break it up. So
I'm sure I've got some trail pictures.
Yeah. Trail would be good if anybody has like a good like Main Street trees. Or just, I don't know, anything I think that would identify it as like, this is a place in Beech Grove.
Yeah.
And also the trees are living.
Yeah, they look nice.
Look good.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It's
So
not dying.
if you come across any of those, they ask for 5. Okay. I think that's that. Oh, so I guess we'll have that draft review to look at by next time.
That'd be fun, yeah.
Cool.
I'm excited to see. I mean, I'm sure it'll be really cool. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Any other questions or anything on that?
I don't know.
I know I just threw a lot of text at you.
No, it's great.
So the next thing is just our Main Street Oaks. You weren't here last time, but we went and kind of like walked around. I think 2 meetings ago you were here when we talked about it's like
Yeah.
on Main Street, but just west of here. They're kind of, I mean, they're all northern red oaks from like here to the library. There's one Zelkova in the mix, which I don't, that's weird, but whatever. And they're kind of varying degrees of unhealthy. And there's one spot on the south side where you can see them getting more and more yellow. And then one of them is really bad. And then.
Yeah. I remember us talking about how they were held up in the bottom. Really, really bad.
I've been thinking about it a lot. I think there's a lot of factors, but like they were planted too high.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, they probably had a mulch volcano on them, but now they've got no mulch. So they're in a hill with, and that mulch volcano, they kind of grew some roots. There's a little bit of mower damage. It's covered in rocks. You can just tell the soil is bad. Yeah, and you noticed the winter. Is it winter burn? Winter split or something?
I think they call it winter burn. Yeah, just the scars.
Yeah. So like on the south side in the winter, there's moisture in there, and then the sun heats up that one side and not the other, and it can split the bark all the way up. So that has happened to a lot of them. We noticed some like black, I don't know, fungus, something on some spots. And they could just prune out some dead stuff. But also the one that's really bad, inside the property line, there's a stump there uphill where I know it was like a giant spruce because I've seen it on the aerial. It's still on the aerials. There's a big spruce there that they had removed. And then what it looks like is that a bunch of soil then washed down because it's kind of washed into the street and whatever. And just like the grass is having trouble growing there. So I don't know, all of those things could be connected or some of those things might not be. And then I did bring up like, maybe, remember we had tons of snow and they were like trying to find places to put it. I don't know if they piled a bunch of snow that had salt over there, like there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I think we could look at some ways that the city, like just make a recommendation to the city. Don't like try to save these trees before we have to replant stuff. Cause they're decent size. They're about, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 inches, something like that. So I bought these little soil pH test strips and I read about it more today. Instead of testing each tree, it said, go to the worst one, and then test like all around that. Test your pH and then like mix some of it together and then test that one because soil pH may or may not play into that. And soil pH is something you can correct with like additives and things like that. But I think bare minimum, we should recommend that they mulch all of them. It's gonna look like a mulch volcano because they're already planted like this, but it's better than leaving that all exposed. And then prune out some of the dead, broken things. I mean, that's something that I know mulch costs money and it will cost a few hours of someone's time to do it, but that's a lot cheaper than replacing all those trees if it helps any of them like recover, make it through.
Doesn't hurt to do the tree.
Yeah. So we don't have to do it today, but I brought these and then I was hoping to get some pictures and like try to, there's a bunch of apps and things, even if we just take pictures and like send them to ChatGPT and help us like get a feel for what kind of, I mean, there's multiple problems, but.
For the soil, would it be we can like put, I don't know, like maybe you already think about this, like get little bags, like Ziploc bags and stuff. Cause I'm like, I don't know, like I hate to like mess it up. You had it prepared.
I got these little guys.
I
from
like
the
those
dog sweater.
cups.
They even look like little specimen cups.
They do.
That's
Cause
why
yeah,
I
that's
got
like
color.
labeled.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I have labels. I did put the tree numbers on because they all have a number associated with them.
Yeah.
But we don't need to test each one, so. And that's why if we just stick with one tree, it doesn't really matter where we go
You kinda get an
around it,
average,
but
yeah.
we're kind of getting a feel for, is the soil
Yeah.
like super alkaline or?
Yeah,
I don't
that'd
know.
be interesting just to know.
Is that
Yeah.
a factor? Or, I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun, a little science
Yeah.
project too.
Yeah, that's fun.
So after this, if we have some time and feel like it, we can do that. Or I can do it during the week.
No,
too.
yeah, I'm like, no matter when, like I'm available, so.
I almost did it today, but then I was like, no. I'm gonna include everybody too. Tree City USA is just on there as a reminder. We'll do that application November, December. And then roundtable, we're gonna reschedule that September meeting to the 22nd. And I'll let Amy at DNR know. Do you have anything else tree related?
Can think of.
6:21, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, our next meeting will be September 22nd at 6 p.m. here at City Hall.